The Werewolf of Grosse Pointe and Other Stories. This is a collection of urban folklore done by a person who claims to have who claims to be a witch. This person is Marion Culco, I think it is. She is actually now deceased. And this book is interesting for several reasons. This Marion, aka Gundella, that's her spirit name, uh, actually was supposedly in a thing called Green Witch Coven, which she said she could trace back to Scotland. I don't know if any of that is actually true. That seems very weird. Coincidentally, she puts the time she was sworn into a coven just when the counterculture stuff in the United States was happening. So that could be all made up. I'm not sure or not. Either way, this person was actually very popular locally in what you would call the southeastern Michigan region. At the time, kind of an activist for more obscure religions. Now, what makes this interesting is this is the second time I've read this book. I actually read this book on Halloween many, many years ago when I was starting my sort of October traditions. And what's interesting is the P.O. box to send stories to, I'm sure it's long, not even a thing anymore, was in Garden City, Michigan, and I used to live near there. And surely enough, I do remember a cult shop that was right near the high school I started at on Middle Belt Road. And the fascinating part about this is I decided to look to see if there was a connection. The person who opened and ran that occult shop was the daughter of Gundella. And even weirder, was murdered on October 31st in like 98 or 99. Because I did the research right after I read the book. You can breeze through this book in just like an hour or two. And I remember being shocked. She had just gotten done attending a dance at the Garden City Community Center. Which, hey, I know that place. I attended a Halloween dance there many, many a year ago. And it's probably closer to 95 when I went. So that was fascinating to me. It certainly gave me the heebie-jeebies that there was a witch slaying in the city of Westland, and that there was that connection between this woman, that store, and the author of this book. It was a really insane thing to find out. And the way I did is after I got done reading, I just immediately started searching for that shop. And I think I turned it up in a press release or something like that. And, that's what I found. So it's unfortunately, Gundella herself was taken by cancer. And then, several years later, her own daughter. She actually had, several daughters and at least one son. Her daughter is taken. It had nothing to do with witchcraft whatsoever. She died at the hands of her spouse. Unfortunately, there's nothing mysterious about that. Happens all the time in the United States. That is the prime suspect. If a woman's married and she's murdered, that is the prime suspect. It's unfortunate commentary on society, but it does happen. I'm just surprised that this wasn't a bigger story when it did happen.